Coming up, another politics update with Gary Z. Frankie Fritz delivers on a key campaign promise. Philip Brown body cam footage is released and how you can join the socialist fight. But first, DC electoral updates. What's up, family, and welcome to Dispatch from the Metro DC DSA. I'm your host, Tayo, and I'll be bringing you all the best news and events from Metro DC DSA. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and be on the lookout for a new Dispatch episode every first and third Sunday each month. Last week, Ward 1 Democrats held an endorsement vote on the race to represent the ward on the DC Council. The vote, held at the Thurgood Marshall Center, gathered almost 300 people in an early test of candidates' muscle in the hotly contested race. While no Ward 1 candidate secured the endorsement of the Ward 1 Dems, Metro DC DSA endorsed Aparna achieved a majority of about 49% on the first round vote and near 59% after rankings were counted. Young adults, tenants, and service workers were crucial in Aparna's floor support, a noted contrast to the affluent coalitions backing Raj's opponents. Intervention by activists associated with the Free DC movement also provided coalition support at the forum, swinging for Raj and bolstering support for progressives and leftists running up and down the ballot. Ward 1 Democrats also endorsed Janeese Lewis-George for mayor, Dr. Oye Owulewa for at-large council, and Robert White for DC congressional delegate in the Democratic primary. Alyssa Silverman was endorsed for DC's independent at-large council seat. Aparna's campaign has consolidated unanimous support from labor unions and civic advocacy organizations. Opposition in the ward from the race appears to be quietly gathering around ex-Homeland Security agent Miguel Trindade Deramo. Trindade Deramo positions himself as a progressive, except on the tiny, irrelevant issues that matter to progressive voters the most. Miguel has remained uncommitted on rent control, hesitant on ending the sub-minimum wage, and predictably vague on his plans to expand labor protections, build decommodified housing, or expand broad tenant rights. His past employment also invites scrutiny into his progressive commitments. Miguel worked as an intelligence analyst for the Department of Homeland Security during the entirety of the Trump administration, which his campaign has since rebranded as Visa Analyst. As a great fictional horror writer, once wrote, "Subtext is for cowards."
I know writers who use subtext, and they're all cowards.
The battle lines in DC, always evidence to us socialists and the working class, are making themselves yet bolder. The opposition caters to what voters want to hear, any principled commitment to action forever sold separately. Meanwhile, the left has something both bloated edges of the Uniparty can never have: a vision. Programs propelled by a singular, intense focus on bettering the lives that make the district the best place in the world to be, expanding tenant rights and rent control, mandating a livable wage, fighting for statehood, all while building civic alliances to defend our friends and family based on their humanity and not ISIS's lack thereof. Up and down the ballot, the opponents of workers can only win, can only succeed if they successfully hide behind vague commitments and personality tests. But if the working class, the legions that line the pockets of billionaires who sooner fly to the moon than give 1% more on property taxes, can force public debate around the issues that materially affect working Washingtonians, people like you and me, the data centers threatening our water, Pepco threatening our power, the abusive landlords threatening our access to both, change for the district can be secured. And you want to know a little secret? Check the description for ways to get involved. We need you. In a major update in the shooting of Philip Brown, the unarmed man who was shot at multiple times by HSI agents, Metro PD body cam footage has been released. The body cam footage makes clear what many knew all along. MPD falsified police records in an attempt to cover up the reckless and unwarranted use of force by HSI agents. As updated in our last episode, Metro PD was under heavy pressure by the DC Council to release the video. The council had passed the FAR, or Full Accountability in Arrest Reporting Amendment Act. Mayor Bowser attempted to protect the department by vetoing the bill, which the council unanimously overrode. The council was compelled to act thanks to the persistent grassroots activism by DC Alliance Against Racism and Political Repression, Family Not Feds Coalition, and many other groups. Yes, this is good, and while yes, this is progress, justice has still not been served. The perpetrators of the brutality and violence against Philip Brown have seen absolutely no consequence, and so the activism will and must continue. Over to you, Tony.
Thanks, Tayo. 6 months ago, I had the pleasure of interviewing Frankie Fritz, longtime DSA member and now member of Greenbelt City Council during his campaign for that seat. The then candidates noted a priority of getting, quote, the long-promised Capital Bikeshare station built at the Greenbelt Metro Station and getting it stocked with numerous e-bikes. This will help build stronger connections with the Metro Rail to the existing bike share stations at Greenbelt Station, across from Buddy Attic Lake Park near the community center, end quote. This week, that bike share station is now a reality. Ever humble, the council member attributes this achievement to the canvassers who knocked over 17,000 doors last year. Well done, Greenbelt. Can't wait to see what's next. A few months back, I had a really fun and insightful conversation centered on DMV politics with Gary Z. He's a member of Metro DC DSA's Publications Working Group and a regular contributor to both Weekly Update and the Washington Socialist. I felt it was a great time to invite Gary back and get another politics update. Here's an excerpt of my conversation with him. Everybody, this is Gary, member of Metro DC DSA, as am I, and he's going to give us some updates on the DC municipal races. There's tons of issues. The National Guard's still there.
They're all over the place, man. They're treated like pigeons almost. Like they're just kind of like, not like there's pigeons walking on the sidewalk and everybody like walks around them or they walk around you and like people just kind of avoid them and ignore them. But they're all over the place still. I mean, this kind of tethers to DC local politics because like everybody in the city says fuck Trump, or they say they don't like what he's doing. But you have a lot of like the rightists in the city, like the right wing, some of the homeowner types. They kind of admit that they like that the police are there, or that the National Guard is there, I should say.
Yeah.
Right, because they're like, oh well, it's good that we have people on the streets. Like this is the only way to keep crime down, right? Because they've sold this vision for the city that like the only way to stop crime and prevent crime is to get National Guard all over or like police all over the place, people with guns and body armor all over the place. And this is dovetailed too with the curfews, because that's also a pretty big topic in the city now. For context, this is the Navy Yard, recently very developed spot of the city. Really, it's a lot of rich people live here, like a lot of congressional staff, lobbyists. The rents here are extremely, extremely high. But it's also like a major, like you have the base Nationalist Park here, and there's a lot of space that's like just unused. Like if you go there during the night, it's pretty empty. So a lot of kids, especially from Southeast Washington, go there. Teenagers go here to like party and hang out with friends late at night. All of this is also a curfew zone. So they're not allowed to be doing this, but they're doing it anyway. And there's nothing the government can do to stop it. This is something that DSA fought against for a while, and like the left in the city fought against.
Right.
Mainly just saying like it's not going to work. Like you're just throwing money away, and it's not actually going to engage the children because they have nowhere else to go. Now in the DC like political races, I'll say that the people running for office are mostly just trying to avoid the issue. I think
it's a dumb issue.
Yeah. Well, right. Yes, because it requires this like deeper conversation than just like curfew. Nobody can walk in this parts of town. I have to give credit to Rep Oyelewa. So he's the DC shadow delegate, and he's been going out talking. He's also been leading these ICE protests in front of the development of an ICE facility there. He's running for the at-large seat in the council now.
Right.
He's been going out there talking to the teenagers to kind of see what they want, because the DC government has been funding these teen summit is what they're calling them. Yeah. Janeese Lewis George was behind this for helping fund these in the council. Bowser's Department Parks and Rec also has been behind these. These seem to be working in some ways, at least in giving kids something to do.
So where's the race stand right now?
I've only seen one public poll so far. So this was a poll done by Greater Washington. They're like a pro-building group in the city. They are on the left, and they have endorsed our like DSA candidate. This was the only public poll that was done. Janeese Lewis George got 37%, Kenya McDuffie 19%, not sure 44%. And this is just one ward. You see in this race too that DSA member Aparna winning the first round votes here, 18%.
Yeah.
Again, I wouldn't take this for too highly, but like I think this is more or less accurate. Like I'd say like 50% of the people are not sure. And the people who are paying attention, like 3/4 are for Janeese, 1/4 is for Kenyan. McDuffie has consolidated the vote of like Bowser's team because this group, Greater Washington, which the DSA used to kind of go at them a little bit oppositionally. And I think they've kind of moved to the left actually, in part because there's some overlap in membership with this organization. And this has forced the neolibs or like the quote unquote pro business people to develop their own organizations to counter us. So this is one of those groups, the DMV New Liberals.
Yeah.
Well, New Liberals, huh? Like they're backing McDuffie. Now this group is, when I say nerds, I mean it with extreme prejudice, right? Like this group is not persuasive. They don't know how to do door knocking. They have no appeal to anybody with a job or who is not completely chained to the discourse that's happening on Twitter.
Dude, come on, look at these pictures. I mean, first of all, and then look at Good Weather down there with half his face dark. He looks like Two-Face.
Yes. Yeah, and then so Rinnie Simpath, she's just a consultant. It's like, what if a consultant was the mayor? She's my number 3 pick because I think it would be funny to just have some 28-year-old as the mayor. This group, there are just Republicans in here as well. Like
yeah.
But this is the
that's
only
where you
group.
have to go.
Right? No, it is like a lot of the Republican. We talked about it last time, but you have a lot of Republicans who hide on the Democratic Party to win.
Right.
So this is just what they're doing. I think McDuffie has an extremely big hurdle. I just don't see the path for him because Janeese's endorsements are it's just so wide, right? Like you have the complete left wing here, Sierra Club, the ecologists, the Free DC movement, huge. Jews United for Justice, a lot of organized people of faith, the entire AFL-CIO. Then you have the DSA. Got to fix our logo in there. Then you have the Greater Washington, which is, again, they're pro-business, like pro-building. And then you also have the metro workers, right? So you have the government workers. So you have this wide alliance of the labor left that has really come together here. McDuffie just, if the most he can get is the new liberals, quote unquote, who are not a real group, like they don't really do anything, that's just not going to help you. He does have a lot of money, so he has been paying like small DC micro influencers to boost him. I don't think though this goes very far, because if you go on Instagram and just read comments from people who like support him, people are just digging into this guy. Like people just don't. He has zero charisma. The guy has like no riz. He's just fucked over everybody who's not a moneyed interest. Like people with any semblance of just basic civic engagement in the last decade and a half do not trust this guy or like him. It really is just a matter though of Janeese being able to kind of hit the ground running and like have the mobilizations necessary to reach out to people and pull them and just get them to know that she's running, right? And who she is.
She's got a lot of active groups behind her. I mean, these are no newcomers.
No, right.
These
no,
are people
it's all
who've done all this before. Yeah. This is like labor. Yeah.
If McDuffie, for example, is able to marshal people, he actually very much could win. I don't know how much you know about this person. She is the most right-wing politician in the city. She represents like the Georgetown area, but she released this video because she has pictures of her at Mar-a-Lago. So she's got like a problematic kind of just tone about her. Very like just the pink coloring is just scary. But in this video she released, she ends up addressing like this issue with this picture of her being at Mar-a-Lago and her parents' connections to Trump. But she also claimed DSA support. She claims that she has a lot of DSA members supporting her. But it was also evidence to me that like this anti-Semitic smear against DSA isn't sticking at all. Because if the most right-wing politician in the city
isn't using it.
Yeah, and is actually trying to claim DSA kind of backing and engagement, it's a pretty good sign that smear they're trying to push around isn't working. Now she's running for delegate, right? The DC delegate, which is currently Eleanor Holmes Norton. She's running against Robert White. I'm undecided, but I think I might be voting for Brooke Pinto because I want her off the council. Because she would be going to a position that has no power.
No power, yeah.
Yeah, so I think she does actually have DSA support, and I think it's me, right?
I was gonna say that's you, right?
Yeah.
I was like,
So
like,
yes,
wait, what is she
yes.
running for? Okay, yeah, delegate. Yeah, I mean, it's not like it could be a position
Purpose.
like
Yeah.
like you could use
No.
that position to build people power, but she's not gonna do that. No one
No.
else
Yeah.
is either. So it's
Yeah.
better.
Everybody who's running in this election is terrible. It's a shame because there is actually a way that somebody who, actually, if there's like a DSA member who is running and was like, I actually think we should probably contest that.
You can make speeches on the floor, right, as the delegate. So
Yeah.
like, I mean,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
one thing right there. You get on
Yeah.
national camera, like
Yeah. Yeah.
just
And like,
heartbeat.
to credit, like Brooke Pinto's released statements on condemning the Venezuela attack and opposed to the Iran war. When her opponent, who's apparently more left wing than her, has not done that, and her opponent is Robert White.
Really?
Yes, who is not even. I don't even know if it's right to even call him campaigning. I haven't seen. He has not even tried to push out like clear messaging on like what he's running on or like why he's running for this position. He has generally been on the center left of the council. The problem has been that when it comes down to these major votes and major fights to swing the city left, he always betrays us. This was on Initiative 82. He voted for the wage freeze. That set in motion the full repeal of Initiative 82.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In the same time he was doing this, he also initiated the TOPA repeal. So this was called the Rental Act. This
Dude, there's always one of these guys, man. I swear to God, there's one on the Montgomery Council too.
Oh yeah, no, this type of guy, this type of guy. He's a type of guy who doesn't really have a clear position on. He has no clear ideology. This was this major rollback of tenant protections, tenant rights in the city. It just sets up the city to be just completely like to just gut over tenants' rights in these new buildings that we build. The big thing to know though is that Brooke Pinto released, and I gotta respect this, okay? She released a 67-page opposition research file that had Robert White's family's home addresses.
Oh my God.
His father's Pinterest page, and he was liking some saucy stuff, I'll say, and it made me like Robert White a little more. Okay.
Yeah.
It got very personal in the document because it had everything about his kids, his wife, and it was like, and she had it listed on her website. It was very huge. White's people are trying to make this like a big firestorm. They're like, oh, how could she do that? I'm kind of like, I don't know. Like, you're in politics. Like, and also this guy like got rid of our tenants' rights and froze our wages. So I don't really give a shit about him. In Ward 1, which is all Columbia Heights, I'll bring this up here. This is where the Ward 1 is, Columbia Heights area, Adams Morgan, and around Howard University. This is where most Dem staffers and like comms people live. Right, professionally. And DSA is running Aparna Raj for council here. All of her opponents here are like stereotypes of the like national debate that's happening too, actually.
Right.
Like, you do have these like Mills type people running in this race, and like they're all backing other people compared to the DSA people. I'm hearing these national debates like kind of happen, and it's like, oh, this sounds a lot like what we're talking about locally. The current councilwoman, Brianne Nadeau, she's not a DSA member, but she has been generally on the left wing, pro tenants' rights, workers to defend Initiative 82. Like, she's DSA on everything except for Israel lobby, like Israel stuff. There was a ceasefire effort in DC, and her office is the one that killed it.
That's crazy.
It was really shocking to a lot of people in the ward. People in DC got really pissed about it. The outrage wasn't even like coming from DSA side. It was coming from just because there's so many people who come from international, like just across the world, who live in this ward and who just support human rights just in general, that there was just enough people to just groundswell here. But just this resolution just asking for a ceasefire, Nadeau killed it. And what it did was kill her chances at re-election. It just became very apparent that like she just couldn't run. And this was a huge political miscalculation, and it destroyed the progressive alliance that she developed, which is where Aparna Raj comes in, the DSA candidate. Because I think we have like 800 members in this ward alone. Right. Yeah. I think it's the densest place where DSA members are in the country.
How is it looking for her?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. The X factor is that we now have ranked choice voting. This provides an opportunity for the right wing in the city to consolidate the votes, right?
Right.
Because everybody who's left wing in this city kind of knows the issues: tenants' rights, workers' rights, environmental advocacy, public transit, and investment, right? The opposition knows this and they're terrified by it. So this was the Ward 1. I had this up for a while, but this is the Ward 1 endorsement vote that happened last Saturday. DSA turned up. The Free DC movement actually was there and broke for Aparna. There's a lot of workers who just unionized from 930 Club and some of the restaurants. They showed up for Aparna, which is great. You
Nice.
see this first round vote. She was 4 votes away from getting just 50% outright in that first round.
Nice.
You'll see here 3 other people. This guy is running, Terry Lynch. He's just some old guy. He's my number 2 vote. he's just some old guy who's like, who does community advocacy, and that's just his thing. Whatever. He's not gonna win. Jackie Reyes is the Bowser's person in the race. She is crazy. She's got a base of just small business owners kind of behind her. So I'm mentioning this because this is actually a major platform on both Janeese, but Aparna's campaign is kind of spearheading this. The plan is to get in DC a birth to 3 or a child care expansion, because we do have this birth to 3 program, but it's not fully funded. So the plan is to get somebody in there who's going to fully fund that, and then we use that to develop our tax base so that maybe we have a future where Tony's moving down here to live, to get access to this benefit, right?
Yeah, honestly, like, I mean, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Even if I could just live near transit, honestly.
But her odds are good. The problem is that you're seeing this consolidation. This guy Deramo is kind of, he's becoming the Ward 1 endorsement vote kind of has that showing here. He's consolidating just the anti-DSA vote here, and because of ranked choice voting is able to consolidate that. This guy is an ex-DHS officer. He used to work not even joking. He's even like a nice enough guy, so it's not even he's nice guy who joined DHS. He called himself an intelligence analyst, but it changed it to a visa analyst recently. So it's worse because he joined in 2017 this is when Trump's Muslim ban just started. This guy also has an education in like Islamic studies. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God, what is this guy doing?
Yeah, so we know what you're doing. Go.
Yeah, and he stayed there for like 4 years, 5 years. He doesn't really have a local record outside of he claims that he was part of the ranked choice voting implementation in DC, which I know he was there in the Wilson building advocating for that at the time, but ranked choice voting only passed really in DC, or got funded in DC, because they repealed the tip workers' wages in Initiative 82. So they needed something to kind of persuade people that the council isn't evil a little bit, right? They needed something as cover. But he's consolidating the right wing vote. He's vague on ending the sub-minimum wage, vague on rent control, vague on re-extending TOPA rights. So it's just that.
Yeah, vague is negative.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
There's no more vibes voting for me.
Yeah. And he has no endorsements. That's kind of funny that there's almost he doesn't even have an endorsements page thing on his page, right? If you look at Aparna's in comparison, all of labor and then every civic advocacy organization of consequence in the city, right? So all of this means that she has a very powerful volunteer force, wide public support. This guy,
the firefighters?
Yes, even the firefighters. Yeah. So it's like it's a pretty wide base of support here. And she's running very clearly on expanding rent control, expanding tenant rights, ending the sub-minimum wage, controlling Pepco. It's a left-wing platform. They tried to ding her early on some past comments she's made through DSA on Palestine stuff, but I think that her opponents realize that that's actually a benefit to her and are trying to avoid talking about that entirely. I haven't been watching the Montgomery County races. I'm hoping that the DSA candidates up there are doing well too, but I haven't followed them as closely. I'm trying to keep up with them on the newsletter. It seems a bit harder to judge up there because it's just so much bigger, so much wider.
Well, there's 2 races for the council. Josie Caballero is running for an at-large seat.
I saw her speak at our convention, the local DSA convention last year. She was very electric. Great speaker.
Yeah,
She seems like she's got it pretty. She's got
I
a
think
nice
so.
backing behind her. I know that Isola Shaw has been a very big in the rent control movement up in Montgomery County. The passage of rent control up in Moco was just such a big deal.
Yeah.
And I know that I met Isola once, and I know she joined DSA because she saw the Montgomery County branch active in the rent control fight there, along with her, and which
Yeah.
is excellent. So I'm hoping she wins too. But I think she's running on District 3, and I know that there is some opposition to her, like the right wing opposition to her there. I have to run because I have to finish up the newsletter.
Come back on anytime.
Cool. Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Gary. Have a good one.
Fun as always.
Yeah.
Peace.
Drop your thoughts in the comments. What's your take on local politics? Join the chapter for any of the huge slate of events coming up in the next few weeks. RSVPs linked in the description. In America today, police enjoy unmatched power. On the streets, officers employ violence at their own discretion. In the book Blue Power, How Police Organize to Protect and Serve Themselves, Stuart Schrader narrates the rise of a bottom-up movement of rank-and-file officers who lifted policing above the law. Join the Socialist Night School for a discussion of the book with the author at the Shaw Library on Tuesday, April 21st. The DC Electoral Working Group will be hosting a Phonebank for DC members of our chapter-endorsed candidates, Janeese Lewis-George for DC Mayor and Aparna Raj for the Ward 1 seat on DC Council. This outreach bonanza will help raise money and encourage more DSA members to attend our canvasses this upcoming weekend, Wednesday, the 22nd. DSA summer sports season is launching with a group trip to Audi Field, where you can watch the Washington Spirit take on Kansas City. The tickets are only $20 for members and $30 for non-members. Enjoy summer sports with your comrades on Friday, the 24th. Metro DC DSA will be knocking doors for Janeese Lewis-George in Cathedral Heights on Saturday, the 25th. Training will be provided. Bring a charged phone, water, and good walking shoes. JLG is one of our Metro DC DSA endorsed candidates, and she needs your help to get elected. Our chapter will be holding its April General Body Meeting on Saturday, April 25th, in Hyattsville. Come be part of the process of governing your chapter, meet your comrades, and have some fun. New members and DSA curious are always welcome. Come canvass for chapter-endorsed Ward 1 candidate Aparna Raj. Aparna is a longtime DSA member, activist, union member, and will make a great representative for the residents right in the heart of DC. Sunday, the 26th. Also on Sunday, the 26th, Moco DSA's very own endorsed candidate, Gabe Acevero, is holding a fundraiser, meet and greet, and general hype rally to shift the campaign into high gear. Moco DSA is working hard to re-elect Gabe to the Maryland House of Delegates, District 39. Gabe is standing firm in opposition to ICE and advocating fiercely for housing affordability and universal care. Subscribe to the weekly update for the most up-to-date list of events every week at the link in the description. More Than Just DSA is hosting events in the coming weeks, so are many other groups. Here are a few other upcoming events. Come to Real and Meal at the New Deal Cafe to catch a PBS film about Benito Mussolini, the father of fascism in Europe who gained power through violence, propaganda, and nationalistic pride. Mussolini used paramilitary squads to intimidate left-wing opponents, undermined parliament, and took control to create a one-man rule. Following the free screening, there will be a discussion about whether fascism is possible in the United States. Monday, April 20th. Do you love Ivy City? Then the Ivy City Environmental Justice Tour and Community Cleanup event on Saturday the 25th is for you. Join Ivy City residents, Empower DC, and Earth Justice to learn about Ivy City history and the sustained fights for environmental justice, followed by a community cleanup. Light refreshments and lunch will be provided. The DC Black Cat Book Fair, formerly the DMV Anarchist Book Fair, will feature workshops, book and zine vendors, artists, and music on Saturday, April 25th. Stop by the Metro DC DSA tables to chat with your comrades, trade books, zines, buttons, lit, and learn how to get involved in chapter campaigns. Find these activities and many more at the calendar of events on the website or in the full weekly update, also linked in the description. The Democratic Socialists of America is growing. If you're not a member of DSA and would like to connect with other like-minded activists, community organizers, and neighbors, visit dsausa.org and join today. Metro DC DSA is the third largest chapter in America with over 3,000 members. We're very active in the community and have groups focused on labor, tenants' rights, LGBTQ rights, environmental activism, and much more. DSA is the largest socialist organization in America, and we would love to have you as a member. These and other stories, along with links and sources, can be found in the Metro DC DSA Weekly Update newsletter, which you can find linked in the description. This production has been a collaboration of members of Metro DC DSA. Look for new videos on the first and third Sunday every month. I'm your host, Tony, signing off with a reminder, a better world is possible.